You are listening to From Ring to Veil.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And we are your wedding planning gurus.
We take the stress out
and put the fun back into wedding planning. Another Q&A session, episode number 133.
It's time for another question and answer session. We love these. I mean, it makes it... I feel like we're on the pulse of things when we're answering questions that real brides are asking.
These questions were most asked by brides on forums and things that we looked at.
Before we get to that, we just want to thank all of our listeners for your support and for your sharing of our show and our likes and all the listens that you guys are doing. We enjoy doing this, and to see the numbers grow, it encourages us.
Right, it does. It really does. It means we're doing something right, maybe.
Exactly. No, not maybe. Not maybe. We're doing it right, and we're obviously helping you in your wedding planning. And again, if you have any questions, let us know. We are happy to answer your questions. All right, so let's get into these question and answers.
How do you let guests take pictures without getting in the photographer's way?
Now, we've talked about this before. On my end, and I'm pretty sure Shannon agrees, make it a unplugged ceremony.
Yes, I really believe that's what you need to do, because there's a video out there. I think we put it on our Facebook page of a bride walking down the aisle. Her aisles are lined with these hedges, it looks like, with flowers on top. And this woman is reaching out over the hedge thing and knocks it over right into the bride's way, trying to get a picture of the bride coming down the aisle. That just,
Yes.
That's my only expression. It's like, why would you do that? You can see the pictures later. You can get pictures of them later.
Exactly.
If you're very close friends, I'm sure that she will have some kind of gathering where she'll show you all of her pictures.
Exactly. Or pass them on.
Right.
So here's one little suggestion that you might take. Specify a certain time, either before or after the professional photos, so that they're not in the way, where you and all your guests can gather and take pictures and selfies and have other people take pictures of you. Just make sure that they know this is the time they can take pictures with you, right? So.
Right.
You know, I don't want to say a cattle call, but kind of, you know, let's just all line up and the next, you know, if you want to do that, if you really want to give your guests time, or they can take pictures during the reception.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to have formal pics.
I mean, the pictures of them dancing together on the dance floor are almost just as good as her walking down the aisle, because you get both of them in that picture. Just don't get in the photographer's way, because the most horriblest picture you can ever have from a photographer is him or her trying to take a picture of the bride walking down the aisle, and all you see is phones.
Yes. Or somebody has stepped out into the aisle to take a kissing picture while you're at the end, you as the photographer are at the end of the aisle trying to get that really important kiss picture.
Right.
Without, obstructing everybody else's view.
Right.
It's really getting out of hand.
And they pay good money.
Yes.
For these pictures. And you do not want to be the one that has their face in that picture, because I'm sure it will be cause for contention.
Yes, exactly. Next question. How do you reserve seating for non-RSVP family members? So you have family members that you know are coming and you want to reserve seating specifically for them.
I'm rolling my eyes at this question. Not that it's not a bad question. It's just that you should always get RSVPs. I don't care if it's your grandmother. Mm-hmm. She should tell you, yes, I know I'm coming, some way. I mean, yes, you probably know she's coming, but It would be, nice to have her send in the card or tell you, yes, I'm coming. I would always have a spare table. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. For these people who didn't RSVP, but you sent them something, and you're
pretty sure that they're coming.
Mm-hmm. I would just reserve a table for those people, and they eat what they get.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, personally, I probably wouldn't reserve a. you couldn't give me the courtesy of letting me know that you're coming so we could plan accordingly. But that's kind of my opinion, and it's totally up to you. You might put an extra row of chairs or two in the back and let them come in and sit in the back if they want to. But yes, also having an extra table is probably good.
I mean, you always have that table off to the side where, maybe it's the kiddie table.
Yeah.
Hey, they didn't RSVP. You don't sit them somewhere. That's where they're sitting.
Their table number should be non-RSVPs.
Make it known.
You sit there.
Shame.
Yes.
Shame. Ring the bell. But encourage all of your guests to RSVP. It makes your life simpler. It makes your caterer's life simpler. It makes your planner's life simpler.
Your planning, too. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's yes, your grandmother's coming, but hey, get a confirmation.
Yes. Just, I mean, and again, this is where you can delegate that calling the non-RSVPs. You could delegate that to somebody in your wedding party, your planner, something.
So do it. Make them RSVP. Get the bullwhip out.
You shouldn't have to, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah. How to handle more groomsmen than bridesmaids. How do you handle more groomsmen than bridesmaids? Or more bridesmaids than groomsmen? I had my wedding. We had my last wedding that I did with flowers was like that.
I mean, what's to handle, really?
The groomsmen walked 2 bridesmaids down.
There you go.
Because she had more bridesmaids than groomsmen. I mean,
yeah. If there's more groomsmen, he can totally walk by himself down the aisle.
Oh, yeah.
If you even want him to do that, he could just walk in up front with the groom. There's no need for him to walk down.
I mean, it depends on how you do it. Because a lot of them, most ceremonies, you just have the groom and the groomsmen all up there at the front. They don't even walk them up. The bridesmaids and maids of honor walk them up by themselves. Walk up there by themselves.
Yeah.
And then in the end, who cares? Mm-hmm. He can show off. Maybe he'll dance down the aisle, And if there's more bridesmaids than groomsmen, then one groomsman takes 2 bridesmaids down.
Right.
It's no big deal.
Yeah. Just work it, because if you want, if that's kind of how it works out, work it, however you want to.
Or make him like the grown man flower girl.
Yeah, that was great.
He worked it, man.
Oh, that was great. If you haven't seen that, check out our Facebook page. We shared that. He's a grown man, and he was the flower girl, and he did it right. Just like a typical little girl. Flower girl. It was great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, what's the appropriate length for outdoor ceremony? Of course, it all depends on your weather.
If it's hot, shorter the better.
Yes.
Because no one likes to sit out there and sweat to pieces.
Exactly. And also, it depends on if you have shade or not for your guests. But we suggest no longer than 20 minutes. And, get it done.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Even if you're outside and it's a beautiful day, really even just inside too. I mean, 20 minutes is plenty of time to get it done.
Yes, we know that there are longer ceremonies. If you're religious and you're having a religious ceremony, we know that there are things you need to do. Like, in Catholic, you have to have a mass. We know that. If you're outdoor, you're having a civil ceremony.
Right.
It does not need to be longer than 20, 30 minutes at the most.
At the most, yeah.
No one wants to sit out there for an hour.
Yeah.
They want to get to the dancing and the drinking.
For one thing, the folding chairs are not going to be that comfortable. Just keep that in mind.
Right. And, women are in a dress. Those folding chairs have leather on them sometimes, or vinyl. Mm-hmm. That's not good for women.
Yeah, it's just not good.
They sweat.
It's just not good for anybody. So our suggestion, keep it as short as possible, period. And of course, have shade if you can. If at all possible, have shade.
What can we have instead of a photo booth for guests? If you don't have the money for somebody to come in and do a professional photo booth, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Our suggestion is set up a spot. Make fabric, some kind of backdrop, bring in props. You can go to like Ben Franklin or Michael's or Hobby Lobby and get all kinds of cute little props for photo booths, and have people take them with their cell phones, and make sure you have a hashtag.
That's right. And you know what? Dollar Spot at Target, I've seen quite a few really cool props there.
Right. But make sure you do have that hashtag so when they do take a picture, put up a sign next to the please hashtag this picture if you put it on Instagram so we can see them. Because, some of them are going to be funny.
Yeah, I bet most of them are. And that's just going to be a little fun spot and activity for your guests to do, like maybe while you're taking pictures or, I don't know, something else. Having cocktails before wedding instead of after. Is this acceptable? Is this something we do?
I would say no. I mean, have something to drink. If you're doing a summer ceremony and you're outside, have a water station or a lemonade station or an iced tea station. Something like that. I don't necessarily know if you want to have alcoholic beverages before because some people do get carried away.
Yes, they do,
and you don't want them inebriated or drunk before the ceremony.
If you do, I would say maybe it's a 1 drink minimum and they get a ticket, they hand it in, get their drink, and that's it. So that they're not allowed to have too much, I mean, if you absolutely have to.
Or just if they're coming in and there's a little gathering space, just have enough there for 1 drink, just have them set out. Like your signature drink, if you're having a signature drink, put that at the beginning.
Maybe a little taster of it or something. Right. You just don't want it to be opened up to craziness. And, I mean, I can just imagine if you have too many people sitting in your ceremony and who have had too many drinks, what kind of things can happen? Just think of the pictures.
Catcalling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just does not sound like a fun time.
Yeah. Do I need to have my wedding dress prepped? Of course you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's in a bag. You get it, you put it in a bag. It's going to be wrinkled. Whether it's long or short, it'll be wrinkled. So you want to have it steamed. Steaming is the best way to go. Ironing is going to, you might burn it. I wouldn't iron it. Or you could have it professionally steamed.
Yes. If it were me, I'd talk to the bridal shop where I purchased it or to the designer who designed it. What's the best way to prep this before the wedding? And, just get their thoughts and recommendations because you definitely don't want to take it on yourself and ruin it. Right before you're supposed to put it on because that
would be
no
horrible.
Good for anybody.
That would be a nightmare scenario.
Yes, it would.
But then the show must go on.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right. How do you say no to kids allowed? And we've talked about this before in previous episodes, but really it's very simple. You add it to your invites and just say it in the nicest way that you can. No kids allowed.
If you're having a late night ceremony and wedding and it's very formal, kids aren't going to have a good time anyway. Maybe, you can compromise and have a babysitter at the hotel. If you're having it at, say, a hotel, get a room, have a babysitter, have games, something.
Or even a church building. A lot of times they have kids' rooms, but I would set that up ahead of time, definitely. Don't expect to just use the nursery.
Right. But, if you say no kids allowed, there's no kids allowed. Don't let Ed and Jane bring her 6 kids because she couldn't find a babysitter.
That's right. And, to say it, you just say it as nicely and simply as you can on the invite.
Yeah.
This is adults only. That should be enough. Unless there's people that aren't going to understand that. This means.
Yeah, and you're going to probably hear some sob stories. Well, I can't find a babysitter. I mean, I gave you 6 weeks.
Right. At least. So, yeah, just say it nicely. No kids allowed. Or this is an adult only ceremony and reception. Make sure to be clear that it's both ceremony and reception if you don't want kids at either.
Right. How many dress fittings are you supposed to have? Well, for one, it depends on how far apart you get your dress from where the ceremony date is. But we think 2.
Right. At least.
At least.
Yes. You're going to start off with your first fitting, and they're going to take all the measurements and stuff. And then it comes back, and you're going to have that second fitting, and hopefully everything fits great, and you're good. But it might need some more altering.
Right.
But also, if you get it too early and you, let's say, lose weight or even gain weight, you're going to have another fitting to get it all correct. So it's going to be at least 2, maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 4 even. I mean, just it really depends.
It depends on how well they alter it the first time and if that fits you and how many times you have to go back to get it refitted.
Let's take a minute here to thank our sponsor, shopthee.city.
If you are looking for a unique way to spend time with your bridesmaids, check out shopthee.city.
And let Shop the City bring you to the best shops in the city.
How many bridesmaids is too many? We probably have different opinions on this.
We probably do.
Being from the florist perspective,
Yeah.
I don't like to make 15 bridesmaids bouquets.
Right.
5.
But you will. I mean, if
if they have 15 bridesmaids, I'll make 15 bouquets. But, I just think that's too much.
So my suggestion is, first you need to consider the size of your venue and your guests. You don't want to have more bridesmaids than you have guests, firstly. A good rule of thumb would be 1 per every 30 guests. So to get your calculator out, and if you have 300 guests, divide that by 30, and that would be 10, right? So
I don't know 10 people to be bridesmaids.
Hey, some of our brides do, and they're pretty happy, and they're popular, and they have lots of friends, and they want them all in there, and that's fine. But just think, you don't want everybody standing up front with you and nobody really sitting in the chairs. That's what you get. And I know maybe you want to invite everybody to be your bridesmaid, but just think about, also, for one thing, money. You're going to have to, like you said, buy bouquets and different things for your bridesmaids. So that's my suggestion.
You have bouquets, you have bridesmaids gifts, you have groomsmen's gifts to buy, you have boutonnieres to buy. That's a lot of money that'll add up.
And if you have to help them fly or whatever. So also, another idea, instead of asking them to be your bridesmaids, if you want to honor these girls and you want them to be kind of part of your ceremony, you can have them walk the aisle and then sit in the front row. So they're still sort of part of your ceremony, but without having to stand up with you.
And also, there might be limited space in your venue where people can stand up.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Consider the size of your venue. If you're at a lake and you've got, the whole beach, sure, you can have, 200 people stand up with you. But you know what I mean? Just be realistic about it.
Or find them other things to do. Mm-hmm. If you want all of these people to be involved with your wedding, you have other things that they can do too. So, spread out the love.
That's right.
Do you wear a short or a long dress to a Vegas wedding? That's totally up to you. Are you having a formal Vegas wedding? Are you having it all out? I mean, hotel, reception, ceremony, all of that. Wear a long dress if you're having a quickie. A quickie.
Quickie chapel wedding.
You wear jeans. Heck, who cares? No, but it's totally up to you.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
And whatever your style is, my style is that, Audrey Hepburn, Grace Kelly look. That's my favorite style. And if I ever got married again, that's what it would be. It would be a T-length, boat neck, full skirt.
So
flats.
I think that the point here is just because it's a Vegas wedding doesn't matter.
Nope.
Whatever you would pick for anything else, what you're comfortable in, do that.
Is it a quick elopement? You probably won't have time to search for, a big dress.
Right.
But if it's planned, hey, pick what you want.
Exactly.
There's a lot of cute short dresses out there.
There are, if you like short dresses, which I do not. Okay, next question. One of my guests plus one is not able to attend. How do I retract the plus one invite due to limited seating and budget?
Nicely.
Yep. And clearly.
And just explain to them, look, I out of courtesy to you, I added your plus one, but he is not able to attend, and we have limited budget, limited food, and so I have somebody else that I would like to invite that's closer to me than who your plus one was.
Yeah. And if they're your friend, they would understand.
Right.
They shouldn't be defensive and well, fine, I'm not coming.
Well,
either.
I mean, if their significant other couldn't come, who else would they want to invite? I mean, especially if it's somebody you don't even know at all. Mm-hmm. No.
Make sure they know that you're not uninviting them.
Right.
Just their plus one. You just need that seat.
Okay, this one's the next. The next question is kind of
A sticky one.
yeah, a sticky one. So, is it okay to unask a bridesmaid who is a long-term friend who is not helping at all, but ask a new friend who has been very, very helpful in the planning?
Right. So here's my suggestion. Let me start out here. You know this friend. You know how this friend is going to react, right? Good or bad. If it's going to be bad, I would say don't unask them. Consider just adding your new friend as a bridesmaid. I mean, because if they're just a bridesmaid, they're just a bridesmaid. It's not like you're taking the matron of honor away from somebody.
Right.
If they're going to react bad and you know it's going to cause a rift in your friendship,
I would ask her why she's not helping and get, kind of an explanation of, I really need your help. I have this other friend who is not in my bridal party that is helping me do all of your responsibilities. Mm-hmm. So why aren't you helping me? There could be some underlying thing. Get to the root of the problem first. And if it's something that you can overcome, that's fine. Like she said, add the other friend. Give her some place of honor in your party.
right.
But keep the other friend. If there's something there that she couldn't help, not to help, if you understand.
Exactly.
I'm talking around in circles. But if she just blatantly didn't want to help,
Yeah.
then
Why didn't she say yes anyway?
Yeah, and I would say, I'm sorry. You're not helping. I need some help with this responsibility. And you as a bridesmaid, as a courtesy to me, are supposed to help me with these plans. Mm-hmm. So I would like you to step down and have my other friend in there that's helping.
If you know they're going to take it, all right.
Right.
And you might even say, I know you're probably in a bad situation right now and you're unable to help me as a bridesmaid. So would it be better for you to step down?
Right. Give her
an option. just try to find that
middle ground
where you're not really hurting her feelings and you know that she's going to take it okay.
Yeah. I would give her the option. Would you like to not be a bridesmaid?
Mm-hmm.
Bridesmaid.
A bridesmaid.
A bridesmaid. I can't talk today. I'm all stopped.
You're doing all right. Next question. Young flower girls. Flowers, wands, or anything else? Yeah, this is hard. Depending on how young you're talking about.
Okay, so if it's a child younger than 2, they don't need anything to hold. You're not going to get them to walk down the aisle, most likely.
Most likely, yeah.
We've had people use wagons to drag them down the aisle. Put them in the wagon, have the wagon
Not
decorated.
drag them down the aisle.
Roll them down the aisle. You can do that for somebody under 2. Have the wagon decorated. I would not give the child anything to hold, anything on their head, because it's not going to stay.
Right, for the little bitty ones, yeah.
Right. 2 and up, I would do halos or something like, 2 to 3 halos, something in their hair. Because most of the time they're probably used to it by now. They wear headbands and bows and things like that. So you could probably put something in their head, on their head.
Make sure from the mom that you know if they're going to keep it on or not.
Yeah. Wands are great. No, there's no flowers attached. Maybe it's just a decorated one with fake flowers that are glued on so they won't fall off. My most horrible story about a flower girl. I made these awesome pomander balls or kissing balls for that's what they wanted. She was 2 years old, 2 or 3, I don't remember. And, I glued them in there so they'll stay, but they didn't stay because the little flower girl swung the pomander ball around and all the flowers went poof.
Oh.
All out. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But, I was told before, and I had to, it was my fault.
Well,
so I had to refund the money.
Okay.
But, just make sure that if you do have them with baskets or things like that, that they are actually going to do them.
Yes. That's a really hard one because it's not going to be your child most likely. It could be, but it's most likely not going to be your child and you don't really know how they're going to react. Although it's a sweet sentiment, maybe you just forego the really young ones.
Right.
And just go with a little older one. I would say 5 or 6.
4 or 5,
That's a really good age.
Yeah.
They're able to kind of hold on to things.
And usually by 10, they don't really want to be a flower girl anymore.
Maybe. Depends on the girl.
I mean, from 10 to 15, they can be junior bridesmaids.
That's true.
You can still have them walk down the aisle with you. If you have somebody special in your life that's from 10 to 15, they can be, a junior bridesmaid.
Right.
Hold a smaller bouquet, a more grown-up dress,
Yes.
Things like that. This is the last question. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
Sorry. I had too much caffeine this morning.
Guess so.
When do you give your bridal party the thank you gifts? I suggest to give them at the rehearsal dinner. That's been tradition, is at the rehearsal dinner. They're all there. Mm-hmm. Your groomsmen, your bridesmaids, your maid of honor, your best man, your parents are there if you give them,
Parents.
if you have parents' gifts. Mm-hmm. Any other significant people that helped you in the wedding, they should be at the rehearsal dinner. Mm-hmm. So that's when you give all the gifts. If you can't, then before the ceremony when you're getting ready.
Yeah. Just a special little time with them anyway.
Yes.
And if, even if you're doing some kind of special outing with your bridesmaids, you could do it then too, if they're all there and it's special.
Or like if you have a bridesmaids brunch.
Mm-hmm. Or if the gift is the brunch or the, outing.
Maybe
or
a spa day, if you're doing that sort of thing.
Yeah. So there's a couple different times you can do it.
We do have an episode of, groomsmen's and bridesmaids gifts, so you might want to check that out.
Yes. Both of them. Yeah. I think we have 2, don't we?
I think so. I'm not sure. We've done so many episodes. Y'all need to listen to all of them. Yes. When you're driving on vacation, just put the little headphones in your ears and just binge listen.
Yeah. Take notes, whatever you want.
Listen. Okay, sorry.
So we're very excited. We have moved over to a new hosting. And so now we are going to be on iHeartRadio in I believe it's a couple months that we'll be able to move over there.
I looked the other day and we're
there. Not there yet. No, it takes a couple of months, I think. But we're also going to be trying to get onto Stitcher too, because they now have podcasts.
I thought we were already on Stitcher.
No, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I mean, not Stitcher. Spotify. Sorry. Spotify now has podcasts, and we're going to try to get listed over there too. And we have a YouTube channel. So if you want to just go to YouTube and push play, and it will just go through all the episodes for as long as you want them to.
And you don't have to look at our faces because it's not us on there.
No. I mean, I might throw a picture up there. You just never know.
Not of me today.
So we're very excited about that. Thank you guys. And it's all due to, our sponsors and our Patreon patrons. That's hard to say. Patreon patrons.
I'm glad you're saying that this morning.
So, thank you guys. And there should be absolutely no problems with this. It should just automatically still show up. You should not even have any discrepancies or anything.
And if you do, let us know.
Yes. Please let us know.
Because we'll contact them right away.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because we don't want you to miss a show.
Exactly. We don't. Subscribe. If you subscribe, you're not going to miss a show. Mm-mm. We're on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play. I would say Stitcher or Spotify. Hopefully Spotify soon. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Please let us know if we're not.
Remember, you can email us anytime you want at info@formringdeville.com. We will always answer your emails.
As soon as we can.
If you have a question, we will answer it on the show. And we will say your name to give you a little shout out.
Yes. If you have a topic.
Yeah. And we will say, this topic was brought to us by our favorite listener today.
And also, thank you for the new iTunes reviews. Those are so awesome. I post them on the Facebook page when we get them, just to share the love. So thank you for those.
We love the love.
So until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen on.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find us on Facebook, From Ring to Veil, on Twitter at From Ring to Veil, and on our website, FromRingToVeil.com.
Music provided by bensound.com.
Remember, you can always reach us at any time by emailing us at info.
Try again. At any time? No.
Well, they can't email us at any time they want to.
Oh,
we
I
just
see
ain't
what
gonna
you're saying.
answer.
I got you. That just sounded wrong.